Pastor Dr. James Bolton of the St. James Baptist Church, followed by Councilmember Sprouls for the pledges. Dr. Bolton?
Please join me in prayer. Our God and our Lord, we thank you for not only giving us this day, but for also giving us your presence. We humbly ask for your kindness, your blessings, and your favor on those you've allowed to serve us in this community, where we work, live, and enjoy. Help our servant leaders to always work together, to be open, respectful, and honor each other, and always to be in tune with the constituents. Remind them that there are no big I's nor little U's. Remind them that no matter the race, background, personal preference, or economic status, every human was created by you. Grant them knowledge, wisdom, and courage to not only do what's right, but to also do what's righteous. Give our servant leaders patience, a spirit of love, humility, and kindness. Always remind them what 2 Samuel 23:3 says. And finally, help us as a community of constituents to be supportive and prayerful for our servant leaders. In the name of our Creator, the most highest power and person who is sacred and holy, let everyone say amen.
Amen. Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
We have no proclamations or presentations. We're going to move on to the citizens' comments on non-agenda items. Anyone wishing to address the city council on non-agenda items can do so by coming forward and stating your name for the record. Is this on an item?
It's for this one.
Okay, so we do have someone that wants to address the city council on non-agenda item. Karen Patterson?
Hi, thanks so much for having me. I'll be real brief. I'm with Fix West Texas. As you know, the city of Odessa helped us get our start 2 years ago to provide low-cost spay and neuter both to Odessa and Midland. So I just wanted to briefly come by today and let you know what we accomplished for 2021. We completed 6,700 spay and neuter surgeries for the total of both communities. We implanted and registered 1,900 microchips. We did over 8,000 vaccination packages, and we distributed about 30 pallets of dog food, cat food, and cat litter. We also provided 150 winter dog homes for people that had to keep their animals outside. We provided 100 winter cat homes for the same reason. And out of these services that we provided, we did 150,000 of these at no cost. As we know, this is super important to our community. Last year, the city of Midland's numbers are very similar to the city of Odessa. We sheltered close to 5,000 animals. We killed half of those. That's why prevention's key. That's why we started Fix West Texas. We want to prevent unwanted pregnancies. That way, we save taxpayer money so they don't end up in the shelter. They don't end up getting killed. If there's anything specific that the city would like to see us do, reach out to us, let us know. But that's just a recap of what we were able to accomplish. And again, thank you so much for starting us out 2 years ago using OPD. Without you guys helping us start out, we would have never gotten our feet on the ground. Oh, and one other quick thing, just in case you don't know about us, we went from a mobile clinic that was open 4 days a month at OPD and then later at the gym and over at the Midland Horseshoe, to having our own full-service clinic as close to Odessa as we could get, but it's on the east side of Midland, or west side of Midland, rather. But we're now open 4 to 5 days a week, so we're able to really serve our community better. We are running a capital campaign, and we hope to one day be in the middle of the communities so we can be just as cheap on gas for the Odessa citizens as Midland. So that's it.
Well, it being a non-agenda item, we cannot respond or ask questions.
Sure.
But if council, if anybody wants to reach out to the organization, we'll be able to get the information from our city secretary, if you don't mind leaving that.
Okay.
And that way the city secretary, we want to be able to address or ask questions, we'll do so. Right.
And
Thank
is it okay if I leave this? This is just a little recap of what we accomplished. If anybody's interested, you can pick one up. Thank you, guys.
Also, any member of the public may address the city council regarding any of its agenda items before or during the consideration of said item. We're going to item 4, asking the city council to overlook the consent agenda as presented and entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
I have a motion by Councilmember Thompson. Do I have a second? Second by Councilmember Spalls, for approval of the consent agenda as presented. All in favor indicated by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed indicated by saying nay. Motion passes unanimously. We're gonna move on to item 5.1, consider bid award for downtown parking lot landscape rehab for $87,559. Philip?
Good evening, Council, Mr. Mayor. This agenda item is to consider landscape rehabilitation for the 2 city-owned parking lots at 4th and Grant. There's one on the east side and one on the west side of Grant Street. The TERS board released a bid packet and opened those bid packets on March 4th. We did distribute those through the city's purchasing department to 13 firms for landscape work, and we received one big bid back from Aldrich Gardens out of Midland. The TERS board reviewed the bids at their March 9th meeting, and they recommend contracting with Aldrich Gardens. The project includes replacing all of the fescue sod at these parking lots, 4 new planter beds that the Parks Department can add flowers into, a new irrigation system for the area, 4 new benches, and an area to display arts in partnership with Odessa Arts. The total bid was $80,759, and the architect fees for design was $6,800. The total project is $87,559. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Council, any questions, comments? You have a motion for consideration?
So moved.
Have a motion for approval
Second.
by Councilmember White, second by Councilmember Willis. All in favor indicated by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed indicated by saying nay. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, sir. We're gonna open up a public hearing to consider approval of the request by Joshua Olive, owner Newton Engineering Agent for original zone of retail, 1.11 acre tract on section 8, block 41. Randy?
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. The property involved in this request is located southeast of the intersection of East Loop 338 and East 56th Street. Site is currently designated future development. It is vacant. It is a 1.11 acre tract that the applicant is proposing to incorporate into the property to the north, and this will become one 3 acre tract, or just nearly 3 acres. And it will be a singular zoning of retail, and the applicant is Josh Olaf. It is, and he's being represented by Newton Engineering. And the purpose of the single zoning of retail would be to establish a custom personal service and retail establishment on this lot. It would be a mixed martial arts studio is what he's proposing to do on the site. The proposed original zoning is not contrary to the surrounding zonings of retail in this area. It would not have a negative impact on this site or on adjacent properties, and the proposed development is not out of scale with the existing zonings in this area. The Planning and Zoning Commission did give unanimous approval to this request, and the planning staff does concur with this recommendation for approval. I might also add that access to this site will be off of East 56th, and it will not be impacted by Loop 338. I knew that was fixing to be
Yeah,
asked,
it
and I
was.
beat you to it.
I've already asked him that. Where's that overpass gonna go?
Yeah. I could see the mouth fixing to move right there. I said, nope, I'm gonna beat him to it on
I
this.
still don't see how they're gonna do that.
Yeah.
job, Randy.
Is that behind a residential area or?
No, sir, it used to
There's
be,
nothing
it's
there.
all being converted to some sort of
There's a-
retail or
there's a-
commercial use, yes, sir.
Building right here,
Yeah.
but I still don't see how they're gonna get it in there, but okay.
Yeah.
Text dot's problem, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This is a public hearing. Anyone wishing to come forward and address this item as proposed by the city council can do so now by coming forward and stating your name for the record. you can do so by coming up now. Seeing that nobody rushed up here to do so, I'll close the public hearing and then turn it over to city council. Does council have any questions outside of how you're gonna access the property?
Or where the lift's
Or how-
gonna go.
and if it's going to create any delay on our overpass? If no questions are to be asked or direction, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
I have a motion by Councilmember Swanner, second by Councilmember White. All in favor indicated by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed indicated by saying nay. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor.
Move on to, I think we're gonna make it, Tom.
Yeah, good.
And so, resolutions, consider contracting operations of the City of Odessa Aquatic Facilities. Mr. Patton. How you
Mayor.
doing? Yes, sir.
On this, I'm gonna abstain from this item since my spouse is involved with the YMCA who wants to be the contractor for this, so.
Okay. So we, for the record, Councilmember Mata is abstaining from the item for conflict. Spouse works for YMCA. Steve, go right ahead.
Good evening. I've
Good
talked so
evening,
much and all the dirt, I'm almost hoarse, so this
Been a
might
while
be
since we've
short.
seen you,
Can
man.
you
You
believe it?
It has been a while.
The Odessa Parks and Recreation Department, we are looking at a new contractor to operate our pools this coming season. We've got about a 10-week season, so we did an RFP process. The RFP process, we publicly advertised, and we ended up with 2 vendors, as the agenda item says. And with the 2 vendors, we have one of our proposals is from American Pool out of Alpharetta, Georgia, which is a suburb of Atlanta, for $436,305. And the other one was from the YMCA here in Odessa for $495,000. We based a subcommittee, went through a process based on evaluation of experience and the cost value, along with programs and special events. And through that process, they made a recommendation to the Park and Recreation Advisory Board for the Y to be the awarded this particular contract. And then we made a recommendation to the Park and Recreation Advisory Board, and the advisory board is on to the council. In the last advisory board, we did not have a quorum, but those present did make the recommendation to go with the Y because of their experience and their past dealings with the city and the success that they had in operating our pools in the past. So the funds that we will have budgeted is $232,732. Then the actual cost is $495, a difference of $262,268. And the savings I have in my current operational budget will cover those particular costs.
Council, do we have any questions, comments?
I would like to say that, I really do appreciate you submitting, or Norma or whomever, all of the information, from both of those bids. And I feel like we got burned last year because we did take a proposal that was less expensive from an agency that was outside of our area, and it went bad from the beginning on that. And so I'm very comfortable with the YMCA, because they are local and we do already have a working relationship with them. Sorry you're losing 200 and some odd thousand out of your budget, but I think it will be worthwhile.
Steve,
agree.
go,
I
do you have any?
No, I was just saying I agree, and I wanted to thank her for sending back the information we had asked at the work session. I think we got some additional information on the incentives that she plans to use and everything.
Yes.
And it seems like a really good deal, so, and I'm glad we can do it locally as well.
Any other questions?
Like, just one for next week, the 2 options here, finance options, so which one are you leaning towards?
The YMCA.
No, I mean,
I'm sorry.
their attachment.
Option 1, option 2.
Oh, under the flat rate,
The flat rate,
so they can make it happen.
okay? I was just wondering, because you didn't say.
It was a consideration that we had some discussions on. I wanted to do 15% or 50,000, and their board wouldn't go for that. They wanted 50% and 50,000, so that was going to be within dollars of what their flat rate is. Monitoring that option 1, and keeping up with the expenditures and all, we were coming out to almost the same amount of dollars. I wanted the 15%, and that would give them incentive to market, bring our attendance levels up, give them a little bit of incentive to really jump in there and make things happen after a bad year to recover our attendance and stuff. And the board said 15 and 50. I'm like,
So,
No.
since I wasn't here at the workshop,
Okay.
give me a little more detail when you're talking about the 15 for incentive. What are we talking about?
yes, and the attachments, there is an option 1 and an option 2 in the WISE proposal. The option 1 is 15% of the revenues of, let me go back a little bit. The city would cover all the expenditures. On the revenue side, we would pay 15% of whatever that revenue side would be. So they can't lose.
So back to the why.
Correct. And that 15% was gonna be the incentive to bring them forward into marketing, getting our attendance up, doing programs, to ensure that we had all of our efforts to get the attendance back where it needed to be. Well, the board, their particular board, had a discussion about it. They liked that, but they want a $50,000 guarantee and 15%. And I said, no. No, that's, the numbers were coming out about the same. I'd rather just pay the flat fee and let's get, and here you go, make it happen. Because we're in March, and we should have had guards hired.
Yeah.
And they've been hiring guards, already beefing up their energy level and marketing and everything to meet our demands, so.
Are we gonna have to put a guard at the splash pad at UTPB? 2, 3?
Three.
Doing all, oh, wow, okay.
And that's without a relief guard. She will put 6 out there. Because if we have big crowds, it takes, and 2 people on deck, 1 in the lifeguard shack, and then 3 on out and about, usually.
I'll tell you, people want those swimming pools open, and they wanna get back to it, so.
That's a $98,000 cost in her proposal to run that spray ground out there.
Okay. Council, any other questions?
There's none.
Any more comments? Okay, so, entertain a, motion.
So moved.
I have a motion for approval by Councilmember Willis, second by?
Second.
Council, Member Sprouls,
Maybe, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Maybe we ought to say with option 1?
With option,
with option 1?
or,
No,
No.
option 2 is a flat rate.
Oh,
That's
Option
flat.
1
So it'll
is,
be,
Okay.
so you're gonna
I
amend
was
your
doing
motion
flat 50.
for approval with
Sorry.
option 2
With
will be a
option
flat
2,
rate
the
of
flat rate.
50,000.
absolutely.
Correct.
Okay.
We have a
I
motion.
misunderstood, okay.
The flat rate doesn't include 50,000.
What does it
It's
include?
just a straight
It's
flat
15.
rate
Flat
at the
rate.
495.
I am stand corrected. It does not have a 50,000 price tag.
Correct.
So it is option 2. Thank you.
I'm with you on that.
And so, hey, I'm flying blind here because I'm seeing the options here, but I can't see it.
Well, he's, I thought he was saying this and this on this one over here.
Okay. That's what happens when you miss a meeting. And so,
But it's this one.
yeah,
And I don't get
okay.
a bonus. That's
So
not
we have a
bonus.
motion by
See, I wouldn't
Councilmember
call it-
Willis for option 2,
No.
flat rate, second by Councilmember White. All in favor indicated by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed indicated by saying nay.
I'm aye.
All right, okay, so we,
I'm
we have 6 approval and 1 abstention by Councilman Mata. Okay. Okay, so Steve, anything else?
Great, we will give you a report of their performance along with all the reports that come with revenues, expenditures, as well as attendance at the end of the season. I'll give that to Michael.
And anything comes up on the hiring process? So
So-
that's always seemed to be a problem with the last, yeah, okay.
Very much so. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Steve.
Well, okay, we got through that confusion there for a second.
Sorry.
No, it's good, you know.
I was just misreading.
Well, I had an option come to the work session or stay at my son's wedding, so.
I was saying.
Oh, and that was a
You
choice.
say flat, right, this is flat.
Well, Las Vegas. Miscellaneous, now, we got, basically, that's it. My God.
I
we're
move we
done.
adjourn.
So I have a motion to adjourn by Councilmember Cross, second by Councilmember Willis. All in favor indicating by saying aye.
No, it's not.
All opposed indicating by saying nay. Motion passes 6-1. I turned around, I was looking for you. Do we have any appointments?
These fast ones are harder.
Yeah.